A 10-kiloton nuclear bomb detonates in the middle of New York City, one of the world's biggest pedestrian areas. The explosion generates a white flash brighter than the sun, momentarily blinding people for a 10-kilometer radius, as far away as New Jersey. A wave of scorching heat and a giant fireball as hot as the sun reduces everyone within 30 meters to dust. Only stark silhouettes can be seen on the floor. Nuclear photographs of what seconds ago were people. Horrifying. And this dreadful scenario is just the beginning. Today, we're mapping out a realistic simulation of a modern nuclear war.
Oh my Lord!
Which nation would strike first? How many billions of people would die? And what kind of society would emerge on the other side? Now, which nations would be able to bring the world to ashes? Well, this is all hypothetical, but the United States and Russia stand as the two nations with the most substantial nuclear arsenals. Both possess thousands of nuclear warheads, enough to cause widespread destruction on an unimaginable scale. And they've already been exchanging threats, sanctions, and ultimatums. Bad blood is an understatement. 1 week before the impending nuclear exchange, panic ensues as global leaders appear unable to avert catastrophe. But then, the world's worst fear begins to materialize when the first use of a tactical nuclear weapon occurs, aimed at a Russian military target. There's an immediate loss of life and property near the strike zone. Panic spreads. Head to a fallout shelter immediately. If shelter isn't accessible, go to the most protected and insulated area of your dwelling because this is just the beginning. Russia, China, and Belarus are preparing a counterattack. US NATO allies are just as ready to push their red buttons. The fateful day arrives and the unthinkable occurs. Nuclear warheads rain down upon major cities, military installations, and key infrastructure. The initial strikes claim millions of lives in mere hours. The detonations trigger a series of cataclysmic events, including a powerful shockwave. Let's investigate how a shockwave affects people at varying distances from the epicenter. Well, we've already seen what happens when you're within 1 kilometer of the bomb blast. The extreme heat causes the complete vaporization of everything within the blast radius. Think about it as being cremated instantly at a temperature of 300,000 degrees Celsius or more. 5 kilometers away, the shockwave is still devastating. Structures are flattened and fires rage uncontrollably. The force of the blast can cause severe injuries and fatalities. The intense heat scorches the earth, causing third-degree burns to humans. Survival is an uphill battle as the world crumbles around you. 10 kilometers from ground zero, the shockwave is still potent. Buildings are damaged and the blast carries a destructive force. At this distance, immediate danger lessens, but the impact is still deadly. The heat can still cause first and second-degree burns. At 20 kilometers away, the shockwave has lost most of its initial power, but it's still dangerous. Buildings will experience structural damage, and the risk of injury still remains. The heat, while less intense, will still ignite fires. Survival here is more feasible, but your challenges are far from over. Okay, back to our timeline. Just 1 day after the nuclear exchange, tens of millions of people are dead and many more are injured. Entire cities have disappeared. There's nothing to do now but wait in a fallout shelter. Use a Geiger counter if you have one to monitor radiation levels and stay tuned to emergency broadcasts. Of course, the amount of destruction will depend on the size of the bombs. If you want more details, check out our video on the true scale of nuclear weapons and subscribe to our channel for more survival content. In the first week following the exchange, the world is gripped by shock and disbelief. Vast areas of Earth are shrouded in nuclear fallout, radiation, and relentless fires. These catastrophic effects have triggered secondary issues like a lack of food, clean water, and shelter. A silent killer emerges. Disease, spurred on by unsanitary conditions. The death toll rises. Soot and ash from the nuclear explosions and the ensuing fires leads to a cloud that blocks the sunlight from reaching Earth's surface. This leads to a significant drop in temperature. The world is now plunged into a nuclear winter. The immediate consequences of this are felt with acute severity. Food and clean water become even more scarce. Communities huddle together in a desperate bid for warmth and sustenance. You need to ration your food supplies and continue to monitor the radiation. As the first month unfolds, the world remains a bleak, irradiated landscape. Scavengers venture into the ruins of once thriving cities, scavenging supplies and resources. The dire situation leads to further struggles for access to water, food, and shelter. The death toll continues its relentless rise, surpassing 1 billion souls lost. The world finds itself in a relentless deep freeze. Survivors face an unyielding battle against extreme cold and dwindling supplies. As law and order break down, you'll need to form community alliances in order to provide mutual aid and protection of supplies. After the first year, makeshift governments begin to form, attempting to provide some semblance of stability. The death toll now? More than 3 billion. Society tries to come to terms with the reality of a world without modern conveniences, connectivity, or the comforting hum of technology. Renewable energy sources are explored to generate some meager warmth and limited electricity. Small communities continue trading resources and knowledge. Healthcare services tentatively begin to reemerge, and getting a basic education becomes crucial for a new generation. Try to be an active member of your community by teaching the youth, growing plants in vertical gardens, and participating in reconstruction projects. At the 5-year mark, the world has permanently changed. Surviving communities grow in size and number. Trade networks span larger areas, reconnecting isolated groups. Scientific collaboration aimed at solving the challenges of a post-apocalyptic world rekindles human hope. Traditional agriculture has evolved into controlled indoor farming, producing modest yields. Still, the death toll continues its relentless march, now surpassing 4 billion. And new local warlords are on the rise. Many species, including humans, still face the risk of extinction. While humanity's resilience is remarkable, the path to recovery is long and tiring. Let's hope this scenario remains firmly in the realm of fiction and that when the time comes, the world chooses peace over destruction. How do you think you'd fare in a nuclear apocalypse? Would you survive for 2 months? Well, we did, and we have the video to prove it. Right here on How to Survive.